Bitcoin right now is getting rejected at a key moving average, guys. We have been talking about that in the previous videos as well. But what does this basically mean for Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin looking bearish right now? Is it looking bullish? What are the traders doing? Did we basically finish the 4-year cycle? Is Bitcoin in a bear market, or can we continue to see higher levels during 2022? And what could the impact be from the war that we are seeing right now between Ukraine and Russia? A lot of questions I'm getting from you guys, and in today's video I'm going to try and answer all of those questions right here. So it's going to be a very interesting video. Before we are jumping into the Bitcoin price action, guys, make sure to scroll below this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, and make sure if you are already subscribed, guys, that you put the bell notification on and you set the notifications on all, because I see that on yesterday's video there were not many subscribers watching, and sometimes YouTube is not showing my videos to all of you. Even though you are subscribed, you will not see my videos in your feed, and there's a lot of things that can have an influence on that. For example, the IP address from where I'm uploading, sometimes the time from where I'm uploading as well. So yeah, guys, if you don't want to miss out on these videos, and I think the videos for right now in the coming weeks are going to be tremendously important, make sure to subscribe and set that bell icon on all notifications. So in today's video we will have a look at some different charts as well as Bitcoin. We are going to have a look at the Puel multiple. We are going to have a look at this specific chart, which is going to be very interesting. We are going to have a look at the funding rate and so on. So guys, all about that in today's video. Let's start off with the following chart. That is the BLX chart, the Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin. Why this chart? Because this chart has a long history of Bitcoin's price action. And the first thing I want to talk about, the first evidence I want to show you guys, is the evidence that we might have seen the end of a 4-year cycle and that Bitcoin right now is in a bear market. What we are seeing right now is the complete historical price action of Bitcoin. The yellow line right here is the 50-week moving average. And we can actually add another moving average right here. That is the 200 weekly moving average. And because that is going to be very important as well. But let me change that color slightly, because this will be the more bearish scenario. Basically the evidence to suggest that we have finished a 4-year cycle if Bitcoin is still in these cycles, and that we right now are in a bear market. So let's have a look at it. So yeah, guys, when we take the start right here till the first major top in the price of Bitcoin, this was a kind of different bull market. We can also have a small talk about that. But till the first major top and bear market, it was approximately 180 weeks. If we have a look at the second bull market, so we take the top right here from this one in 2013 December, and we go right here to December 2017, then we can see it is approximately 209 weeks from this top, the bull market of 2013 to 2017. Funny that both of them also ended in December, at the end of the year. And if we measure from this top till the top we have seen right here, then we can also see that this is been topping in November. So it's also kind of the end of the year with a similar amount of time, which is approximately 205 weeks. So we got right here, we got 180 weeks, we got 210 weeks right here, we got 205 weeks right here, if we were to measure from this top. And afterwards, what is happening afterwards? So here we can see that after the first bull market topped out, eventually we get a bounce from the 50-week moving average, and afterwards we break below the 50-week moving average. Right here we can see it as well. After 2017 top, we get a bounce from the 50-week, we break below the 50-week. And right now we can see it as well. We don't really have that clear bounce off the 50-week. We did got that bounce right here, but eventually we broke below the 50-week moving average. And what we can see in historical data for Bitcoin is that every time we broke below the 50-week moving average, Eventually, the price came down to the 200-week moving average, which then was marked basically the bottom. So we had that right here after 2013 top, and we lost the 50-week moving average in 2014. We came down to the 200-week moving average. That is this blue line right here. Also in 2018 right here, with this last major drop during this bear market, we came down to the 200-week moving average. The crash in March 2020, the same. We also broke below the 50-week and we dropped to the 200-week moving average. Right now, Bitcoin is trading below the 50-week moving average, and so far this level has not been possible for Bitcoin to break back above. So that is actually quite bearish. And if we have a look at the amount of time for Bitcoin, and we were to look at these 4-year cycles kind of time, then it is definitely possible that this was the top in Bitcoin, and that we right now are in a bear market which could last for some time and eventually could bring Bitcoin down to the next level, the 200-week moving average, which would right now be at approximately $20,000. Do take in mind, the further in time we would potentially meet this level is going to go up. So if we would meet this level, for example, in September, which I don't think is likely, but if so, we would meet this level in September, it would be at the levels of 26,000. So this is a increasing number. That is important to note right here. And this is basically the more clearer evidence that Bitcoin could have seen a top and that we are right now in a bear market. And the evidence to suggest is that we have finished a similar time period if we have a look from the tops to tops, and when Bitcoin would be still moving in a 4-year cycle, and afterwards we have been losing some key levels. We also have the 21 weekly EMA, which is very important, but in this case I bring up the 50-week moving average because this one might be even more important with looking for potential bear markets. So this is basically the evidence that we have right now to suggest that Bitcoin has finished a 4-year cycle and right now is in a bear market, which potentially will bring Bitcoin down to the 200-week, which is at roughly $20,000, and historical, that would mark the bottom as well. $20,000 would mark the bottom. Of course, we can always wick down below, but if we would repeat similar patterns as we have seen in the past. So that is quite important, that right now, for me, in the worst case scenario, Bitcoin could travel to the levels of $20,000, testing the 200-week, but eventually, like we have seen in historical price action as well, if that were to be the case, I definitely expect a nice bounce with rally off from these levels. But yeah, is this the case? Did Bitcoin right now completed its 4-year cycle, and are we in a bear market? Well, that is still a discussable topic, because I don't think this is decisive evidence that is basically the thing that is happening. There's another argument that people can make that is lengthening cycles. So you probably have heard about this on other YouTube channels from Benjamin Cohen. He's talking about that Bitcoin is in lengthening cycles, so that every cycle that is taking place is taking a little bit longer than the previous cycle. And if that were to be the case, then right now we could be still in this bull market and Bitcoin is still basically on track and everything could be fine, and in 2022 we still could see higher levels. So that is something important to note right here as well, that this is not decisive evidence to suggest that Bitcoin finished its 4-year cycle. However, it is a scenario I think we all have to take into consideration, and you have to prepare properly for whenever something like this might occur. Then I want to go back to a different chart. What are the more bullish signs right now in Bitcoin? Well, let's have a look at that. The more bullish signs right now in Bitcoin is, first of all, if we have a look at the technical structure right here, then we can see that the technical structure could still be bullish. Bitcoin trading in a ascending channel where we are right now testing the support after a 50% correction. That could definitely be one of the more bullish signs if Bitcoin can see a nice bounce from these levels. Of course, we do need to reclaim some levels before we can cheer for that. Then when we have a look at the momentum indicators right now on the weekly time frame, then we can actually see some good signs as well. We are seeing a hidden bullish divergence on the relative strength index. We are potentially getting a hidden bullish divergence on the MACD right here, setting lower lows in the momentum indicators, also in Orion's belt. And we basically so far set it a higher low in Bitcoin. So if we are not losing this uptrending support and get a breakdown right here, then this could still be a nice structure and a nice setup for Bitcoin to eventually go into the next uptrend right here. That is still a possibility if you ask me. Also, when we have a look at Orion's belt, every time we have been dipping in these levels of being oversold, as you can see, I can make a horizontal line right there. This white line, then you can see that every time we dip into this level and we get a nice, we get kind of a short-term reversal at least. Of course, it's not a guarantee that later on we won't revisit these lows or even surpass these lows. But in the shorter-term time frame over the next coming weeks, if we were to get a nice curvature up right here, then also in previous markets, it definitely showed that Bitcoin could see a bounce. Didn't matter if we were in a bull or in a bear market. That is just a positive sign if you ask me. And if we do get a nice start point rally from here, then that would also confirm the hidden bullish divergences that we are seeing on the relative strength index and that we are seeing on the MACD. Then the other argument that people make is the regular financial markets, and this might be one of the more bullish arguments to be made. If we go to the S&P 500, there we basically see that the S&P 500 has had quite a rough patch so far. We got a correction on the S&P 500, and the regular financial markets and Bitcoin are still highly correlated. But like we have been talking about so often in my videos, guys, I think it is possible, and I've showed you a lot of examples as well, that we just get a drop into this channel, but then eventually we bounce off from it, trapping a lot of investors. Even also when we have looked at that head and shoulders formation where we have been talking about, we got a potential left shoulder right here, head in the middle, right shoulder right there. We did got that breakout, but like I said in my previous videos, the moment we break back above that neckline, things are actually looking quite bullish. It's actually quite good for the regular financial markets, and we could be seeing a nice bounce from these levels. Of course, we still need a little bit more confirmation for this. We need to break some levels on the S&P 500 in order to really become more bullish. But these are already the first signs of that scenario that I've been pointing out in my previous videos, that this fake out could trap a lot of investors, which is happening right now. Then I want to bring out this graph, guys, and this graph is inspired by Alessio Rastani. If you don't follow him over on YouTube, I would definitely suggest you to follow him over on YouTube. But what he basically did, he put the equity market related economic uncertainty index, which is the blue line right here, on top of the total market cap, that is of the regular financial markets, that is right here, the red line. And what we can see is that whenever the uncertainty index, which is the blue line, is passing the level of 500 right here, approximately between what you can see between here, between 400 and 600, then that marked actually a great bottom in the regular financial markets, or it marked a period that was actually being close to a bottom. So what we can see right here, now we get this price hovering, but right here we can see that we had a huge spike in the uncertainty index that actually marked the bottom right here in the regular financial markets. Right here we also got a huge spike that was in 2001, And of course, we eventually did saw lower levels, but we got a short-term quite a heavy bounce in the shorter term time frame. It definitely marked a local bottom, but it didn't mark the exact bottom. We did got another bottom, another low afterwards. If we look at the next example, we also got a nice spike in the uncertainty, this time not above that 500 level, but it was very close to a major bottom right here in the regular financial markets. The next one, which got above 500 right here, marked the bottom of that correction right here. Then the next one was the basically the COVID crisis right here around March 2020. We also got that uncertainty index spiking above 500, which also marked the exact bottom in the regular financial markets. And right now we are seeing this level going to similar levels, hitting above 500. So if we have a look at historical times, whenever this indicator marked a top above 500, then it was actually a great time to enter the markets if you have a time span or a time horizon of approximately 2 to 6 months. I think maybe it's even better to have a longer horizon, right? So guys, this is a great indicator showing us also that the regular financial markets, although everybody is bearish, it might not be that bearish after all, and maybe we are going to see or maybe the more likelier scenario, that is a better way to say it, is that we are going to go up from here. And I don't think it is very likely that we are going to see the regular financial markets entering the blow off top phase, continuing an uptrend, and Bitcoin just continuing in a bear market. I don't think that is the more likely scenario, because when the regular financial markets are going up, risk on assets, money will flow into that. Like I've been telling you in previous videos, there's a lot of cash on the sidelines right now due to that uncertainty, right? So the moment that sentiment will change, like slightly, the moment that sentiment will change and people will see like, oh, hey, the things might not be that bearish after all, then there is a possibility that a lot of that cash will flow back into risk on assets like regular financial markets and Bitcoin. Also, we got a nice bullish divergence right here, lower low in the price, higher low RSI, higher low on the Orion's belt, higher low on the MACD. So yeah, I definitely expect a bounce in the regular financial markets right here, which I think is a great signal for Bitcoin as well. So guys, let's jump back into the Bitcoin price and let's have a look on the daily time frame. So far we got rejected from the 50 daily moving average, which is of course a bearish sign, and that could mean that we could be testing the support right here again. In the most bullish case, we could be setting a high low and have another try for the 50 daily moving average. I definitely would say for the shorter term time frame, remain bearish as long as Bitcoin is trading below this key level. And yeah, to change that perspective is whenever Bitcoin is breaking above the 50 daily and can hold this level as support. That could be one of the first signals that we are going to see a rally in the Bitcoin price. But for now, we're still getting rejected. But we are also, if we zoom out, right here on the daily time frame, if we really zoom out right here, we also haven't left this rising channel structure. So we are also still trading within this rising channel structure, which I think is quite a powerful structure. And as you guys know, it is always more likely to continue within a certain structure rather than to lose the support of a certain structure. And of course, this is possible as well, but we first want to see some evidence of that occurring. And right now, when we have a look at the daily time frame and the weekly time frame on the momentum indicators, we can see that there's just so much more space to the upside rather than to the downside. And Bitcoin already completed a correction right here of slightly over 50%, which also for me makes it less likelier to lose this level and get another significant dump rather than to first at least see some form of a relief rally where we are seeing liquidity going back to Bitcoin. Also, like I've been saying in yesterday's video, if we have a look at the supply shock ratio and so on, Bitcoins right now are mostly in the hands of strong entities who are not prone to selling. Also a good sign for Bitcoin. On-chain statistics are actually all quite positive. Yeah, the only thing that is really a warning signal right now is the certain period for Bitcoin. If we have a look at 4-year cycles, and Bitcoin losing the 50-week moving average as a potential signal that we've entered a bear market, which eventually will go to the 200-week moving average. So those are still both a possibility. I want to bring out this metric as well, the pure multiple, which is quite interesting. I've used it before. But what this metric is basically showing us is the daily coin issuance from Bitcoin, so the daily Bitcoins that are basically being mined in US dollar value divided by the 365 days moving average from that number. And what we can see is that every time we are dipping into this green zone, it is a great buying opportunity, and whenever we are coming in the red zone, it is showing a great selling opportunity basically, or that we are getting closer to a top. Similar right here in 2013, at the end of 2013, previous times as well has been quite accurate with predicting a top. 2017 as well, and right now we are seeing actually this top. We have not seen the pure multiple going into this red zone. Another sign for me to say that we might not yet have seen the top this bull market, because the top that we are seeing right here is very different than the tops that we have seen in the past. We didn't got a extreme blow off top kind of phase, but we just have a quite over a extended period of time formed a double top formation, if this were to be the top. But the interesting thing right here, guys, which I wanted to point out, is that both of these bull markets had a nice uptrend in the pure multiple, where we bounced off from this uptrend during the bull market. We did that in 2012, 13 and 14. We did that in 15, 16 and 17. And right now we are seeing that we are also having kind of a uptrend. Note how these angles are slightly changing, but now we also have a uptrend where we could be seeing a bounce from, because we are testing the support right now. So this was another metric which can go into the metrics of more bullish signs, that this actually could be a period where we could be seeing a bounce from in the Bitcoin price very, very soon. But okay, guys, this is what I'm looking right now in the Bitcoin price action. I think if we have a look at the regular financial markets, things might be looking more bullish than it actually feels right now. Important to note, but also do take in mind that there are some warning signals out there that we potentially still might be visiting the 200-week moving average before continuing that next uptrend. Let me know what you guys think, guys, in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit longer than usual, but I really try to give a good overview of both scenarios right here, the bullish case and the bearish case, what could happen in the worst case scenario, but also what I'm leaning more towards right now, which is still slightly more bullish in the shorter term time frame rather than bearish. But okay, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave that thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon. Very, very important. Of course, if you like to trade Bitcoin and you want to support the channel, I got all my affiliate links below this video. If you use these affiliate links, you will get an additional bonus. I will earn a fee from that, so that is very much appreciated as well. I want to wish every single one of you an awesome day today, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.